How we doing?
Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit in a plan and I found out that I can execute. If I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom, read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing, yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need. It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
This is a scene you never like to see here. The Lions have decided to strike back. They got to get this situation under control fast, Peter. We are hovering above the situation right now. Zookeepers didn't know what to do, and the Lions all huddled up with each other, and then they decided to go ape shit. The lions, tigers, bears, every animal at this zoo is rip shit, and they're letting the people know. Even that fucking black bunny rabbit that just ran across the scene. Police are almost here, but meanwhile, people are just getting fucked up left and right. That guy that just went down, he no longer exists. The lion just made him his bitch. Stepped on him with the paw. That's a territorial move. That guy just went down hard. Lions running throughout the town now, and we have serious, serious issues. We ask everyone to stay indoors during this time, although everybody seems to be outside. That is a bad fucking move.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night. It's John and Ben. It's all in!
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Oh!
Hello.
John, was that counting me in or was it having a seizure? I don't really know what was going on over there.
I was trying to count you in. Oh, my hair's gone all
You were
fluffy.
doing this and I was thinking, what's he doing? What's he doing?
Yes, I was doing that, old boy.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was trying to give you a... See, it's difficult. It's difficult, people, because, as you know, we are destitute. And we
Ladies and gentlemen,
we could not afford to renew our conferencing software.
we couldn't.
So now we're using free stuff. And I think you can tell because I would say the picture quality has taken a dive.
I'd say you're right.
And we can't share audio between ourselves other than the voice channel.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So
even...
what I'm basically doing
Go on, Ben.
Oh, Mark Andrew Chapman says, hi both, liked and shared. That's a new one. Hi there, Mark. Hope you are good. But what we're basically doing is I have to sit here and listen to the broadcast on YouTube, and there is a delay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but you know, it's half working, and basically he's just got to get a little bit more confident in counting me in, I think.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah,
than-
well, actually, it would have helped if I'd known when I was counting you too, because I think as I sometimes do, I went too early.
And with that, well, good evening, John.
Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, and good evening, everybody else, and good evening especially to our Irish viewer tonight, Shalini. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
I hope she's dressed as a leprechaun.
I hope so too. And I will say, in honor of the occasion, I got the real stuff.
Yeah, you did. You did. I stuck with my favoured English beer of the season so far, Old Speckled Hen.
They can't see it, so let me just hold it up properly.
With
Right, there we
you're
go.
you're reversed, old boy. You haven't reversed your.
Am
video.
I really?
Yeah.
It looks in the right way round where I am.
Yes, but where you are doesn't really count.
Give me a minute. I'll stop my video. I'll go to video settings.
It's up to you. You don't need to do it. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to lie to you.
No,
John.
don't fuck about. It's buried in the settings somewhere. Come back.
It really is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
buried down here. There's no way.
Come back.
There's no way.
Come back.
I'm coming. Look,
Ben!
I'm coming back.
Come back.
I'm coming back.
Come back to us, Ben.
Hold on. I'm back.
He's back. Thank goodness.
I'm back.
Oof. And your picture's starting to come back now. It started ropey there. Right. Yeah. So there we go. That's where we are, people. Skint and loving it.
Do you know what though? Me and John were having a little conversation earlier, and he thinks I'm turning into an inadvertent gigolo because basically what John wants to do with me has become a reality for other people, hasn't it, John?
Well, yeah. Have cripple will travel.
Have cripple will travel. So people get significantly cheaper tickets for things if I go with them, and paying for both of us becomes cheaper than paying for one of them. So I get to go away places and not pay. So
Token cripple. I will take my cripple to this queue and jump it.
yeah, pretty much. And you know what? I don't feel bad about that because I need a break every now and again. I'm not getting another one now until the end of June.
It would be different.
But it's another.
It would be different if you weren't an actual cripple.
Yeah.
You know, so if you were just, let's use the term grifter. If you were just a common or garden grifter, but you are an actual cripple.
Yeah.
Despite what people might think.
It's a crutch I have to bear sometimes. The amount of medication I'm on speaks for itself. The beautiful amount of controlled substances are wonderful, but at the same time, an annoyance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
An annoyance.
Right. So.
But yeah, no, I get cripple prices. Those cripple prices make things a lot cheaper for other people. I get a holiday, you know.
It's been a busy 2 days since we last spoke to you guys.
Hasn't it just? I mean, I've been to the cinema twice.
I mean, it's been quite a busy time in the world, you know, for world
I know
news
what
and
you.
major
What you
events.
meant.
Not Ben
I
sitting
know what you
stuffing
meant.
his face with ice cream in a cinema.
It was ice cream milkshakes, John.
Was I wrong? No.
They're fucking wonderful. Your face. He's gonna die. Why? He's gonna die.
I've got to cut back as well. I'm getting chubby again. He says.
Ow. Do you know what, John? We only live once. We have one life on this planet, and I say enjoy it. Beach Crate says, "How was Scream? It didn't stick the landing, as far as I'm concerned." Right? I'll give you a brief overview brilliant Act 1, brilliant Act 2, completely different from the rest of the franchise, and then Radio Silence, who made it, cheaped out and went back to formula for the third act. So didn't stick the landing, were too afraid to go all the way, but otherwise, you know, an entertaining couple of hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got Cocaine Bear to watch.
That was a good film.
Yeah, I've
Enjoyed
got that to watch, and I watched Picard.
I'm enjoying that.
It's not next
I'm confident. Gen. Of course it's not, and it never was gonna be. But at the same time, it's not Picard seasons 1 and 2. It's a completely different show.
I think I only got to episode 3 or 4 of Picard. You know, the first season
1,
and I never watched it again afterwards.
You saved yourself a lot of heartache.
Well, much like Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God, the Rings of Power. Me and Adam watched it all.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that. I mean, we
I
started
don't know either.
Can you hear the rain?
Yeah, there's a little bit of rain there.
Right, so we started with a watch party, believe it or not, people, because we were going to put this on the other channel. And the first episode was mildly hilarious, but it was okay.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and then the second episode, it started to go downhill. And then by the third episode, it was just like, oh, get me out of here now, you know?
Yeah, indeed. Indeed it was. Right, anyway.
Yes, Ben.
Entertainment in... one more thing. I'll tell you a little bit of a concerning story, and I think a little bit of a view on humanity as a whole at the moment. So this morning, as John and Adam and some of our other team members will know, I went to my daughter's assembly to see her get an award. Well, 2 awards actually, one for reading and one for following the rules or something. You know, it was boring pish, but the kids love the parents being there, and you do it, don't you? Right?
Yeah.
You go through them, but I'm sitting next to, my wife's here on my right, and there's another woman here on my left, and she's got a buggy in front of her, and in this buggy is a kid, must be 18 months old, right? Not listening to anything her mother would say, but listening to everything I would say, right? So I would turn around to the kid and go, you know, do you want to watch? Do you want to clap? Just try and stop the kid making loads of noise, because the kid was interacting with me anyway. And then I picked up, she dropped her little Peppa Pig phone. I picked it up and I handed it to her. And the kid looked at me and went, "Thank you, Daddy."
I knew it. Single mother.
Oh, my God.
There you go. You got yourself a second family.
Oh, my. I just went, I looked at the mother and she went, "I'm so sorry." And
but are you open for the position?
No, definitely
would
not.
You like to interview for the position of occasional daddy?
And the wife has been sitting there. The wife has been sitting there next to me, just laughing her head off, right? And I'm just going,
well, she's on the ups because she's hoping she's going to get rid of you. She's going to get some peace 2 or 3 days a week, hasn't she?
Yeah, maybe, but Jesus Christ! I mean, this is the state of humanity where kids are confused as to who their dads are.
No, that happens. That happens quite a lot. It does happen quite a lot. I've had that happen to me in supermarkets and things. You're walking around the supermarket and a kid in a trolley will go, "Daddy," and you'll go, "Does not you speak of."
No, Shalini, I was not propositioned. I handed a small child back her Peppa Pig phone and she said, "Thank you, Daddy."
I mean, I love you dearly, Shalini, right? But if you're going to keep fucking falling asleep during the show and then jumping in asking questions to be caught up, you know, it is only 9:15. You're starting early.
We do love you dearly.
I did preface it.
I should probably stop drinking that Guinness because it is going straight to my head.
Oh, was I wrong then? When I said to you, you'll be bashed within 10 minutes.
I've been drinking it since before the show, to be fair.
You get called daddy by a kid sitting next to him in a
I did. The kid was about 18 months old. But the thing is, the mother turned around. She said, "I'm sorry," but then the next thing the mother said was really quite concerning as well. She said she doesn't need one anyway.
Oh, maybe she's got two mummies.
Maybe.
Christ.
But no, I think kids do need a daddy. I think kids need a mother and a father. I think they need both a male and a female role model in their lives.
That's a very traditional approach to bringing up children.
Well, I am married with kids.
Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree with it. I'm just saying it's rare to hear that being commented on these days.
What you're saying? I'm saying something controversial.
You know, it's like, is this a fad? Is this like a fashion?
I don't know.
Because I can't see this can't sustain itself. It really can't.
Western civilization is going to hell. It is.
Yeah, well, it's
going to hell.
It's ran its course.
Unfortunately, you're right. And its course could have run so much longer if it wasn't run by fucking morons.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. There's no other word to describe them.
Right. Look, one of the biggest catalysts for the acceleration of the downfall of Western civilization is fucking TikTok. And speaking of TikTok, is that on your list by any chance?
No, it's not, but I'm quite more than happy to speak about it.
You know the news, the government.
Oh, no, number 10. Yeah, I've got that, yeah.
On government devices.
Except for those and those about number 10 in the cabinet.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What, the cabinet want to sit there looking at people.
Let me just think about this for a second. So the people who have the highest levels of access continue to enjoy TikTok.
What do you mean enjoy? There's the only thing to enjoy on there is Chasing Dissent.
Are we on? We don't broadcast on TikTok, do we?
Not live at the moment, but I'm going to sort it out so that we do. But at the same time, we do have clips, we do have videos, we do have an account over 8,500 followers over there. Don't know how that happened, but you know, that's what we've got. And we're the only thing to enjoy over on TikTok. In fact, earlier on, my wife's friend was around with her 18-year-old daughter, right? And all her 18-year-old daughter was sitting there doing the whole time they were here was watching TikTok videos. And then she was going, "Oh my God, Mum, look at this one dance, look at this." And I'm sitting there going,
yeah,
this is the problem.
I'm laughing also at the chat, right? So
right.
Ron, being the technical wizard that he is, right?
And a moderator,
jumps in with not even a by your leave or how do. He jumps straight in with, "Hey, I didn't get a notification." Well, you know what?
Hit the goddamn notification bell, Vaughn.
You know what, Vaughn? Take it up with fucking YouTube, not us.
We didn't do that. I'm afraid. I'm gonna.
That's not within our remit. If you want notified, you need to fucking take it up with YouTube. You need to click the button.
I'll tell you what, Harold. You're absolutely right. Right. Smash the bell, Harold says. Smash the bell.
I hate that.
Vaughn says this is unprofessional, which isn't a word, and it's bullshit. I expect a notification. Well, once again, hit the goddamn notification bell. Take some responsibility, young man.
And take it out with YouTube if it's not working, because that's not something we can fix, dear boy.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's not. So what are we going to discuss this evening then, old boy? Because we're 17 minutes in and we haven't even got to a discussion point yet.
Oh, well, we did mention TikTok. Right, so we've got quite a few things to discuss, I suppose. I mean, we're going to have to discuss Ukraine at some point. Do you want to bring it up early or later?
Later. Is Oxfam on your list? Because Shalini wants to get there.
Well, if Shalini wants to get there, right, can I suggest that she goes and has a nice hot bath to relax herself first?
John, it's too early. Too early for that kind of talk.
Yeah, if you're going to line them up, I've got to take a swing at them.
Too early, John.
I think it's only appropriate. I tell you what, let's start with Anna talking about taking a swing at people. So what's going on with Anna? What's actually happened? Has she left? Has she left, or has she been suspended?
Oh no, she's left.
Right.
She's personally deactivated. Let me check her account once again, right? So Anna Brees. Yeah, she gone. She gone. She gone.
Yeah, right. So Anna's gone. She's departed from TikTok. No, from Twitter. Why?
I think
we saw the Freeman thing. Did anyone in the troll room see the Freeman thing where she had a kind of
the Freeman thing
contretemps with him? You know, it wasn't terribly vitriolic, was it?
Well, no. Basically, I'm a bit light, and I've lightened up a bit. I will say this, so I'm going to just say things as they should be said. Anna Brees has spent the last, I guess, 6 months being the arbiter of division. She claims to want unity, and yet has done all she can to create division in the alternative media. And then when she gets called out on the bullshit, she's thrown a massive tantrum and run away from Twitter. That's what's happened. And I'm sorry, Anna, but that's what you've done. And if you didn't intend it to be divisive, the things you've been doing repeatedly, then you certainly don't know how to frame a tweet. That's all I'm saying.
She's not. This might be a bit of a damning indictment, right? But I don't find her a very good communicator.
I don't find her a very good. You know, I invited her on this show. She didn't respond. I mean, she did respond to some of the points that I made. Give her
that's fair enough. You know, not communicating with someone is a choice, right? But when you are trying to communicate your thoughts and ideas to people, and you can't frame it correctly, like you said, and you can't formulate an idea, you can't formulate a theory, you can't describe to people what you actually mean, and then you start going on about things that is the antithesis of what being a journalist is. You
Absolutely.
know? And then she gets called out by you, who had a tweet with a good number of likes, and then a couple of ones that I replied to.
And I was fair. I didn't insult her. I didn't have a go at her.
I was very fair, I thought, but I don't think she likes it when you get more likes than her original tweet does. That's the problem.
But she blocked you. She didn't block me.
Yeah, I know. She blocked me before she left.
Harold said she's just scared she will be cat lady soon. Well, I've got fucking 5 cats. I could end up cat lady. At any point.
Is there something you want to tell us?
I mean, I'm just saying, look for photographs tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
Not about the cats. You can't be a cat lady if you're not a lady.
No, not about the cats.
Oh, jeez. Right. Anyway, you're just gone too far now. See,
well, I'm not going too far at all. Actually, we're spending a night in together, me and the kids, tomorrow night, because the wife is going out with her 2 friends, and they're going to get pissed and go stay in a hotel together, right? Because I've just been away for 3 days. It's only fair. So I've agreed to let my daughter make me up like a lady.
Oh, lovely! She did that the last time as well. That's the old
she did.
scattergun set to whore, as they said in The Simpsons.
Yep.
How did they get away with saying that in The Simpsons?
Because The Simpsons used to be edgy, it used to be fun, it used to be cool, and then it went woke.
Yeah, it used to be pretty damn good. Right, so speaking about Anna, so she was.
Photos are
What?
Spencer, I'll get in the scooter with the kids, and I'll come round your house all made up. How's that? Anyway.
Right. Okay. So yes, we Anna went on about unity, which I found strange, because I don't think you need unity in any kind of journalism, because in fact when we start talking about Ukraine, we'll expose the fact that there is no unity in journalism because we get different reports from different quarters of the globe. But at the same time, why should there be unity? You know?
Do you know what? I think that there should be unity in the sense, right? Now, let me finish my point here. In the sense that we all understand that we all have our own broadcast styles, we all have our own ways of doing things, and we all have our own biases, we all do, and opinions. And we let each other broadcast in those ways, and we don't try and attack one another for it. I think there should be unity in that sense. But I don't think there should be unity in the way that we should all frame stories the same way, come from the same angle. Because, like you said, that's propaganda, and I'm not down for that.
No,
but I am down for that kind of unity where we all live and let live.
And the other thing,
Anna's not.
Yeah, well, the other thing, you're correct, and I agree with that. You know, there's no need for unity when you're seeking the truth, because sometimes you might have the truth, and everyone else doesn't. And when they put their story forward and theirs is wrong and then later found out to be wrong, you are the source of truth. But you wouldn't say, oh, I'll just go along with those 97% of people because, you know, consensus is always right, isn't it?
No.
I was making a point, dear boy.
I know you were making a point, but I was answering you factually.
Yes,
consensus is not always right.
So the other thing she wants is hope. Now, when was it our job to provide hope?
Well, it's not our job to provide hope. What I think our job is to provide our perspective, report things in our way, give our opinion, and provide you the tools to think for your...
The troll room were shouting at me.
I know they were, but you could have waited.
Sorry, carry on.
Because it would have actually been effective at the end of the point that I was making.
It doesn't take time to reload.
But I don't even remember what I was fucking saying now.
Because you stopped and wandered off. You should just have kept going.
No, Anna is just... She's done everything in her power, in my opinion, to foster division.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make any sense. Now, she doesn't have to agree with the way that we report things. She doesn't have to agree with the way that the Ikes report things. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that the Ikes say. I don't agree with some of the stuff that UNN say. I don't agree with some of the stuff that UK columns say. It doesn't mean that I'm not supportive of them as outlets, and I don't want to see them do well. Of course I want to see them do well.
I'll go further. I've agreed with some of the things the BBC have said. Yeah,
well, I think, you know, everybody's going to have, once again, their bias and their belief. But our position, this is what I was trying to say, our position is to provide you the tools, I believe, to think for yourself. And we tell you very often, don't just believe us. Don't agree with our opinion because we're stating it. We don't want you to do that. What we want you to do is go and look at a particular news source, a particular news story, and go and look at it from a left-wing bias, from a right-wing bias, from a mainstream bias, from alternative bias, and come up with your own conclusion based upon the evidence. Now, we come up with our own conclusions, absolutely, but they don't have to be your conclusions. Now you can press the button.
That's true.
There you go.
Thank you. And the last thing she always bangs on about is solutions. Now, I really don't think...
What does she mean by that?
No, I don't think it's a journalist's position to or place to provide solutions.
Well, I don't have the answers. Sometimes I might, but I don't have the answers to most of this shit.
But you're entitled to have your opinion, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, nobody's looking to you to save the world. Nobody's looking to Tucker Carlson to save the world. They're looking to find out what's happening and what he thinks about it, right? You know, nobody's looking at, well, even, dare I say it, CNN or MSNBC to provide them a solution. They're just looking to find out what's happening.
No.
Well,
a lot of people,
CNN viewers might be looking for solutions.
And MSNBC, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's face it.
They're the actual kind of people then that Anna seems to be holding up as an exhibition of good journalism, and it's entirely the antithesis of good journalism. That's twice I've used that
Anna
word
wants
today.
her job back.
Yeah, I think she does. She wants to crawl back into the belly of the beast.
At one point she was making about £2,000 to £3,000 a month on Patreon. We make £7.50 each a month on Patreon, by the way. So that's not £750. That's £7.50.
Yeah.
Because we are quite obscure. We know our place in the world, shall we say? We are trying to grow.
We are,
but
and people obviously don't like us.
But there was one point, like I say, she was making a good few £1,000s, and she's making significantly less now.
Yeah.
And I will say, I think she wants her job back. And do you know what? I think our dear friend Sonia Poulton agrees. I don't want to speak for her, but
yeah,
we did speak about our Anna, didn't we, when we were on the show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Well, we actually kind of might. I mean, the thing is, she's a bit of a one-trick pony because she's stuck on this, gatekeeper thing that she thinks that anyone that says anything that isn't, double. Well, it's not even if it doesn't come from the words of mainstream authority, then it's not to be believed. It's misinformation. And even Elon Musk was a bit. One of his tweets today was a bit ropey, going on about misinformation and things. But he was right in that. Aren't you better to counter misinformation with the facts? And I thought,
you're
yes.
absolutely right.
I thought, yes. In fact, I think I replied to him saying, one man's misinformation is another man's belief.
Well, exactly. And this is why we don't tend to tell people what they should believe. We just tell people what we believe, right?
Yeah. And we're not often wrong.
No, we're not often wrong. We're not.
I thought China would be at war with America by now, though. I really did.
Well, them and
but they're getting there. They are getting there.
Do you know what? Going back to people when looking for saviors or solutions or people telling them what to do, right? Once again, I had to go to the pharmacy today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now at the pharmacy, there are no limits now on how many people can be in the shop at all. All of the signs are down. Don't have to wear a mask. Everything's 100% back to normal. And once again, I can send you a picture. Massive queue with 2 people inside the pharmacy. And there were 2. It was actually quite chilly today. And there were 2 elderly ladies behind me. And I turned around to them when I got to the door. And I said, why are we doing this? Why are we standing in this queue? There's nobody in there, and there's no limits. I said, when I go in, because the old guy in front of me would not budge. And I said, when I go in, I said, you come in straight behind me and get out the cold.
Why didn't you just drive round them?
I wasn't on my scooter. I'd already driven to my car.
Well, why didn't you just walk round them and walk in? I wouldn't have waited.
He was an old boy, but
so.
But the point of the matter is, like, these 2 elderly ladies they had scarves on. They were cold.
Yeah.
And they were going to stand out there. But it took me telling them that they didn't have to do something for them to realise that they didn't have to do it. The programming from these places, like mainstream media, works wonders.
It's done a well, that's the thing. It's done a stand-up job on them. And if you remember, we had a great conversation with Mark Changizi all about this. And
yes, we did.
How were these people going to come out of it? And I mean, his view was one at a time, and it is taking that long. That's what it's taking. It's one at a time.
Well, I think these 2 ladies, they sort of had a bit of an epiphany when they realised. I said, look, there's no sign, is what I said to them. They were like, oh my God, the sign is down. Like, we have permission now to go in.
That's like, people are so stupid though, aren't they? Because I remember somebody parked right outside their fucking door. Okay? I mean, right outside the door. And I said, could you move your car, please? And they said, why? And I said, because that's their business and people have to come in and out. And they said, well, there's no sign. And I said, there's no sign saying don't take a fucking dump in the street, but you don't do it, do you?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But But the point that I'm illustrating is that the places like CNN, MSNBC, BBC, Sky News, Channel 4, all of these people that drove this programming into people, it's effective, and they do look to these places for solutions, and that is scary.
That's the problem. It's effective. Now, it's certainly effective the first time, but if you abide by it the first time, does that mean it's going to be super effective the next time? Or does it kind of get less effective? That's the question, because when the next one comes, we'll find out.
I think I already know the answer, and it's not in favor of humanity, put it that way.
No.
They will just do what they're told.
Roll over.
They'll get back in the one-way systems. They'll get back in the one-way system.
Never followed the one-way system.
Neither did I, and people used to have a right go. And you just turn around to them and you'd say, come on, guys, a one-way system. This thing is airborne. There
was only one woman that's pulled me up, and that was only because I was coughing behind her.
Because you know me, and I was going to say, you know how strict France were on the masks, right? Mm-hmm. And I went everywhere in France without one on, didn't I? Yeah. And I got away with it.
The French were freaking nuts. The French are nuts. I couldn't believe that for people who loved to protest so much that they adopted the rules around COVID so willingly.
Oh, they did.
They really did. They took them hook, line, and sinker. And I mean, it got to the
Disney
point.
Stickers?
Yeah, we just wouldn't. We wouldn't go inside because you'd have to wear a mask to go inside. So we'd have coffee outside. And then when they banned you, from having coffee outside, but you could still take it away, right? So
yeah, you could walk in, stand there, wait for your coffee.
Yeah, you could walk in without a mask on, right? Because you weren't sitting down, so you didn't need a mask. Now, and the mental gymnastics around this are mental, right? But you didn't need a mask to walk in and order a coffee.
Nope.
But you needed a mask to walk in and sit down at a table where you could then take your mask off.
Yeah, no, science, John. Science!
Yeah. But anyway, you know, those days are past now. And in the past, they must remain.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when.
In fact,
that's going to happen.
The actual line was, those days are gone now, and in the past they must remain. And that's from Flower of Scotland.
I agree. I agree indeed. Anyhow, what else have we got to talk about?
Right, Matt Wallace. You remember I said Matt Wallace this morning?
You did.
Right, this guy writes essays and does YouTube and Twitter videos and things. And he posted one yesterday that I found intriguing. He posted a video and said, "This is it. Bill Gates exposed them." Do I sound okay or am I echoing?
No, you sound great.
Right.
On my end anyway.
Right. Okay. So he said Bill Gates exposed. This is the video that's going to get him put in jail.
Yeah, I remember this.
Have you seen this video?
I haven't bothered because I know it's going to be pish.
Well, all he does is give you an expose that isn't an expose and just has clips of Melinda Gates going, yes, we had a few rows, affairs. I didn't like Jeffrey Epstein, and that was about it.
So what you're telling me is it's the pish that I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. It's an opinion piece.
It's an opinion piece. It's not going to get the man put in jail. I mean, have you seen today? They've the arrest warrant, John.
For Vlad.
The arrest warrant.
But it doesn't matter because Russia and Ukraine are not signatories to the Treaty of Rome. So the arrest warrant isn't really valid.
Well, no, it's not really.
I tell you what,
symbolic,
I tell you what, mate. See if someone arrests Putin. That's a man I'd like to shake his hand. In fact, I would take a wheelbarrow along so as the guy could carry his balls in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've drunk enough Coke. Maybe it'll be me.
You're not arrested, Putin. In fact, I invited Putin to the show tonight. I did. I said, did you see those long list of things? I thought I'll try this and send this out to people that we've mentioned over the last, over the last week. I thought I'll just invite all the people that we mentioned because it's like a courtesy thing, isn't it? So, and I thought I'll send one to Putin because we talk about him all the time. And he's featured twice in our thumbnails this week. Riding Rasputin.
Only just noticed.
What?
Cellini's only just noticed.
she's well, you got to remember, she's only awake for like 10% of the time.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's true.
Right.
Yes, I am celebrating your National Day, Shalini, with a pint of Guinness Original, and it has gone straight to my fucking head.
He wasn't even Irish, St. Patrick, was he?
I don't know.
Oh no, he wasn't. He wasn't Irish.
Apparently, Beats Crates thinks you send weekly emails to Putin.
No, I don't.
Please come on the show.
That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that he'd get you locked up in Scotland.
Putin! To be fair, John, if when Humza Useless becomes First Minister, this show is the sort of thing that's going to get you locked up in Scotland.
I'm going to have to go on the run. Have you seen some of the stuff I've sent?
Guinness is vile.
It's an acquired taste. But anyway, have you seen some of the stuff I've sent to Hamza Yusuf?
Yeah.
I mean, my last account apparently got banned.
Yeah.
My last account got banned for targeted abuse.
Good evening, Sophie. John, give me the next topic because my head is spinning.
Good grief. Well, we were talking about Matt Wallace and that opinion piece. Have we finished with him? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because once again, like I said, it's a load of pish. It was always going to be a load of pish. Oh my God, I've got an expose coming out tomorrow. It's the one that's going to put Bill Gates in jail. Is it fun?
Why do people listen to these people though? I mean, he's got like
I don't know,
millions and hundreds of thousands of views, millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of views. I just don't understand it. In fact, let's talk about that guy. What's his name? Not Richie Blackmore. He's
Richie Allen.
Yeah, Richie Allen. Right. What the fuck? You sent me the link to one of his videos about him being banned off Zoom and Microsoft, right?
No, he was banned off Microsoft.
Hold on. Can I finish? Right?
Yeah.
So you sent me this link and I started watching it and I thought, why the fuck am I listening to some rambling Irish twat who can't actually come to the fucking point and has difficulty stringing two words together in a sentence? And this cunt, right, has fucking a supersized following. What's all that about? Why do people like these assholes?
John, they're probably thinking the same about you.
That's fine. I don't fucking beat about the bush. I get to the point.
Yeah. But you know, once again, I'm more than happy for his success. I hope his success continues. And what happened to him, thankfully, he got the situation solved. But what happened to him, I think, is completely egregious.
Oh, so he's had the situation resolved?
Yes.
And what was the problem?
Someone made a complaint that he was a bigot, so Microsoft shut down his account.
Without asking him? Or without investigating?
Without saying anything.
See, but this is like the copyright.
This is the problem.
This is like copyright on YouTube. You know, you put in a copyright claim, the bang, the whap you straight away. That's not how fucking copyright's meant to work, YouTube.
No.
You know? They're supposed to prove their case.
You know, DAZN and all of you boxing twats and
yeah. What's KSI? Yeah, idiots.
Yeah. Yep. Striking little channels for fair use. Just the thing is, like you say, these companies, And, you know, Richie made a good point today. He made a good point, and he said, you know, he's a paying customer for Skype. He pays for packages and things like that. And he said if he owned a bakery...
So he actually made a point.
Yeah, he made a good point. He said if he owned a bakery and Dave came in and bought, you know, croissants and eclairs and things like that all of the time, and then someone came in and said, Dave's a bigot, you shouldn't sell to him. He'd turn around and he'd say, I don't give a fuck what his opinions are or what he does on social media. He's a paying customer. That's my relationship with him.
Yes, but that's a very interesting point, Ben, and I'm glad you brought it up, because what you've actually just described, right,
is a business relationship.
Yeah, but you've just described the difference between capitalism and communism, haven't you?
I think in a way, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have.
I think
you've just nailed it. Well done. And that was, look how simple that was, people. That, in a nutshell, is
Richie
the difference.
made that point, right?
But that, in a nutshell, is the difference between capitalism and communism.
But I completely agree. But I completely agree with the point that was made there. If we've got business transactions, and like, he's been banned from PayPal for years, and many other people have been banned from PayPal for simply doing a show that other people don't like. I was banned from GoFundMe, right? I was banned from GoFundMe because a bunch of people made up a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
And got my no, they didn't investigate. They didn't ask me. They didn't tell me. And they made a load of money off of me. And
yet, people who start non-existent charities and raise money for the charity that is yet to be don't get banned and get paid out the money.
Banned.
What?
I don't think I'm banned from GoFundMe, but they shut down the campaign.
Yeah, well, they didn't shut down that campaign, and the guy got to take all the money out.
So Adam says, hasn't Sonia been banned from PayPal again?
No,
well, why should she be?
No, she hasn't, because she got the money. It started working again. I think it was a glitch. PayPal does glitch. It is glitchy. I mean, for fuck's sake, let's face it, right? Who invented it? Allegedly.
But you know, every time.
Who invented PayPal?
Well, partly Elon Musk.
Yeah, so it's bound to be fucking glitchy, isn't it?
But you know, these people, their job is to facilitate financial transactions. That's it. That's the extent of their job. And they make a percentage off of each financial transaction that they facilitate. And that's where the buck should stop. People shouldn't be able to contact these people, lie, and then people lose their ability to process financial transactions.
Well, in fact, let's move on then to the banking world, okay? Because let's deal with these issues as they've come up. So, first of all, SVB, right? Silicon Valley Bank, right? Now, since 2008, America has done nothing but have meetings with the UK and Europe about how much we fucking bail the banks out and how it has to stop, and we can't afford to bail out banks. You just got to let them fail like Iceland did, right? And America has been banging on about this for 11, 12 years. And what's the fucking first thing they did with the SVB Bank?
Bail out, baby.
They bailed it out, baby. They bailed it out and told people that no one would lose their deposits. So no one would suffer. So where do you think that money came from?
The American taxpayer.
Yeah. So there you go. So the Americans are not, in fact, if you're an American and you're watching or listening to this show, I'm not having a go at you because I dearly love America, but the America that I see just now isn't an America that really deserves to exist anymore, because it has so much lost its way that it's unbelievable. It really has.
You know what? We do actually have a fair few listeners of the podcast over in the United States. So welcome. Hello. We don't acknowledge you enough, and we really, really should.
We should.
I know you're not watching this live, but you will hear this. So thank you, is what I say. And if you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put the old donation links in the chat now, but there's actually a link at the bottom. I would appreciate everybody click. And it's not for a donation. It's to our Rumble channel. And that's so that if people lie about us, and John unfortunately suffers some problems on his channel, we are still live, and we are live right now over on Rumble as well. So if you have not subscribed over there, then please just take a minute, click that Rumble link, head over there, hit that subscribe button, because we will always be live there. We'd appreciate it. Yeah.
Right. So that's SVB, and it's going to happen with the rest of the American banks, okay, that are failing. No Russian banks failing, though.
Russia's doing very well for itself.
Yeah, and why is none of their banking failing? In fact, why hasn't their banking really been affected at all by the Western recession?
Because they're not part of any of the SWIFT system or anything like that. That's why.
And why are they not part of the SWIFT system?
Because of the sanctions, babe.
Exactly. So those sanctions are really hitting hard in Europe.
They really are.
And UK and America.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are. They're hitting us hard.
And meanwhile, Putin's fucking laughing into his coffee, isn't he?
Into his Stars coffee and his McRuskey's burger.
Yeah.
McRuskey's.
Yeah. Made from the ground up bodies of Ukraine. No, sorry, I can't go there.
No.
Right, so CNN reckons they haven't affected Russia. I love you dearly, Adam, but you know what? Just shut the fuck up.
There's 12 people watching over on Rumble right now. Hello, Rumble. It's very nice to see you. Right. And
right. So in fact,
momentum going.
So we're talking about banking, right? So here's the one. Fucking hell! Can you guys hear me? Okay.
It is really coming down where you are, John. It is raining.
Yeah.
It's right.
It's an effort to try and strike me off the airwaves.
It's raining cats and dogs, and we're getting to the point in society where they'll be fucking in the streets.
Very well, right. So where are we? Right, troll room. People in the troll room. Is anyone into Bitcoin or digital currencies or crypto or blockchain, right? Because if you are, right, and I see this all the time on Twitter, and I can't figure out how. I don't know how it's going to save us, because people tell us that it's going to save us. Blockchain and Bitcoin and crypto is going to save us. What's it going to save us from, and how's it going to do it?
Yeah.
Because the part I can't figure out is, if you don't have control of the infrastructure, which you don't, right? Because the infrastructure is controlled by central government, so you've got electricity and internet, and that's not in private hands. So if you don't have control of that, and it's susceptible to foreign attack, because apparently they're doing it daily now in Taiwan. They're getting hit by cyber attacks daily from China. Well, one would assume China, right?
It's definitely not me. No.
But anyway, so if you don't have control of the infrastructure and you lose the infrastructure, how do you pay for things with any kind of digital currency or blockchain or whatever? Do you have a Viking number that you can give people?
Well, it's
in lieu of an actual transaction, do you have a number that you can give them that they can transact later, or they could pass on, called a note?
Take digital currency out of the equation. I'll tell my Disneyland story again. I told you earlier on.
I know.
I need to keep reiterating this story, because take digital currency out of the equation.
Hold on. Well, even before just before you start it though, let's ask this question of Vaughn. Yeah, but they're not going to switch off the electricity and internet, are they? Really, Vaughn? Really?
Probably.
What the fuck? Did they not prep us for electricity outs this winter, but haven't done any really? But they did prep us for it, okay?
Oh, just look for them rolling blackouts, baby.
And you know that, so the problem with the internet now is that all the emergency services stuff is run through the mobile phone network.
Yeah.
Okay, which is fine, right? Because there's plenty of capacity until the shit hits the fan, and then they just flick the switch, and they can't. They've got the switch, and you flick the switch, and suddenly all the capacity goes to the emergency services, and you've got fuck all. So you can't use your phone to pay for anything because it's just off.
He's absolutely right. Yeah, at some point, but still, take digital currency out of the equation. You need cash, and you need cash because, once again, I was at Disneyland with a bunch of friends. I only take cash with me, and the entire card system across the resort went down. They couldn't even buy food, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't spend money. They couldn't buy anything, and I was having to lend these people cash. Because at any point, all digital systems, they're fallible. And they're prone to just breaking. They're prone to cyber attacks. They're prone to just being an absolute pile of shite. They rely on internet connections for the most part, especially those mobile beep terminals, right? And you never know whether or not the internet's going to go down. Your only surefire way of transacting is cash. It's it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't lose it. Don't listen to assholes like Boris Johnson when they talk about the war on cash.
And the thing that what it comes into my head, because they say things like, you know, supermarkets are going to go, you can only spend with a card, or you can only use your phone or whatever. And I'm like, well, you know what? People are just
it's their loss.
Yeah, but I think worse than that. You can't do that because certain people don't have bank accounts, especially old people that work with cash all the time. You just can't do it. What?
Look at Spencer in the chat. Took the kids to Pizza Hut yesterday. They flatly refused to take cash.
Was that
Primark are doing the same?
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? See if supermarkets start this carry on, I'm going to save a fortune.
Yeah, me too.
Because you know what I'll do?
Go out hunting, baby.
No. I'll go into the supermarket and I'll put all the stuff in the basket or trolley, and I'll eat some of the stuff like pork pies and stuff and cheese and stuff. You know, I'll eat that as I'm going around. And then
you'll offer to pay.
Then I'll present that to pay with my cash. And if they refuse cash in settlement of a lawful debt, then the debt is cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
And I shall walk out. And if they call the police, I shall say to them, this is a civil transaction. They have failed to follow the contract that we made when I offered to pay for these purchases.
Yeah, and
that's
you know what?
There's no police action to be taken because you haven't stolen anything.
You've offered to pay, and in fact, sometimes, you know, if you want to go one further, you just put the cash down on the counter and walk out.
Yeah.
Then what happens to the cash is, you film yourself doing it, then what happens to the cash is completely, it's on them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no point in boycotting them because not enough people will do it.
No, you know, self-service tills. I'm quite a stickler for them, especially, you know, the beep guns. I quite like the beep guns. I know a lot of people don't, but I only use them if the supermarket will allow me to pay for cash using the beep gun.
Yeah.
And some of them do, some of them don't. Like, so I don't believe Sainsbury's do, but if I go to Tesco's and I use the beep gun, I can go to a regular one that takes cash, and in fact, you can go to a checkout as well. But it's getting harder and harder to actually go to like a self-service checkout and produce cash.
Yeah, well,
they keep taking cash away from them.
I just queue for the cashier all the time now.
There's a cashier in our Tesco's, right? There's no shit. There's a cashier in our Tesco's that is card only. And you go to it and they go, are you paying by card? I go, no, I'm paying by cash. Oh, you can't pay it. And they send you off to the next one.
Yeah, but you know why that is? That's the people they don't trust. That's the cashier that's filling the first job out of prison.
I mean, I can certainly see your point. I can certainly see your point.
So I don't understand Vaughn's point.
Which is if the electricity and
the
internet
right.
goes off,
Cash is still fiat. Well, yeah, who cares? Right. So that has no difference. That doesn't answer my question, which is how are digital currencies, Bitcoin, crypto and all that, how are they going to save us, and what are they saving us from?
I will say this. I think the value of Bitcoin in the past couple of months has rocketed from about 14 grand to 26 grand again.
Yeah, if you can get it out.
How long until it crashes? And once again, if you can get it out, if you've got it in an exchange where they will actually let you withdraw.
See, this is the thing that I didn't understand. It can be really, really hard to get money, actual money, out of Bitcoin.
Yeah, so when I do dabble in it, and I've dabbled in it a couple times, right? I use an exchange called crypto.com, and what you can do is instantly sell your coin for fiat. Right. And then you get a fiat balance. Yeah. And it's instant. Click. And then that fiat balance won't change because you've sold the coin for that fiat.
Yeah.
But
but can you get the money? Out.
Sometimes it takes 2 minutes, and sometimes it takes 6 days.
Right, okay.
But I've never... What do you mean? Oh, I've got a blue ear.
Your cat ears.
Yeah, hold on. Can I get the shot?
No, your head's too big.
Meow.
His head's expanded.
Do or do not. There is no try. Oh.
Right. So yeah. So basically that's it. I don't understand. I don't understand how crypto and blockchain and all that is going to save us.
It's not. It's not. At the end of the day, it's all another massive Ponzi scheme.
In fact,
when you really think about it.
If anything, crypto seems to be a vehicle for making anonymous transactions that would suit criminals more than anything.
Well, not just that. It also seems to be the blueprint to to tyranny, because the governments are looking at it and going, "Oh, we like these digital currencies. We're going to make them."
Yeah, of course they do.
We're going to make them. We're going to set the values, and we're going to eventually make it so you can only trade in those currencies.
And
so inadvertently,
and you can only trade in those currencies if you've been a good boy.
If you've been a good boy or girl, yep.
If you've been a bad boy, no soup for you.
Well, Harold makes a kind of good point here. He says, I think the government made Bitcoin, but you don't know which government it is. But the guy who made it is completely anonymous. Nobody actually knows who made it.
Was he Japanese? Or do they not know?
He uses a Japanese name, but is he Japanese? Because he's always been completely anonymous. Nobody knows who the guy is.
Right, so... Yeah.
So it could be a CIA operation for all we know.
Probably is.
At the end of the day, we just don't know. And there's a lot of lack of transparency. Well, of course there is.
This is the thing that gets me as well. There is a lot of shit we don't know, right? But there's a lot of people out there that pontificate on this shit that nobody actually knows about. As if they are, an oracle of truth and they are stating facts. When really, they don't know shit. And then people suck it up. They just suck it up, don't they? People just like to be misled.
Well, yeah, most of us don't know shit about most things. We can opine, absolutely, but unless we know for sure. Dread High and Julie C say tenner on China for making Bitcoin.
It's true.
That's true.
China.
But once again, you just don't know. You just don't know because we don't know something Nakamoto, I believe he called himself. I could be wrong.
It always reminds me of Die Hard. See as soon as you hear those two syllables in close proximity.
What, Nakatomi Plaza?
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! Hiro Nakamoto? I don't know.
Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Right. Tell me. Right. Okay. Let's get off this boring subject. What about this maniac? And right. Okay. That's probably a bit cruel.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
It's probably a bit cruel to start with that kind of approach. What about this guy who reckons he's identified by both his own vision and by facial recognition that members of the Azov battalion were at the January 6th insurrection?
Oh. Were they, though?
He's saying they are, and he says he's got the evidence to prove it. He's got the video and the photos and all that. And you know, it's hard to tell, but he's saying facial recognition is picking them out. So is this madness? Are we going down some kind of weird rabbit hole here?
Why on earth would members of the Azov battalion be there?
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to ask that question.
I mean, who's winning here? Where's the upside?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know where the upside is. It's a genuine question. If you're going to allege this kind of stuff, I want to know motive.
Yeah, well, yeah, and these are the things that it's very difficult to work out, because America's got good motives for being in Ukraine and for doing what they did in Ukraine. And if you watch my previous video, you'll understand some of the backstory as to why Ukraine's in the situation it's in right now.
Absolutely. It's a great video. You should go watch it. It's over on the channel right now.
So, and the next part is going to be all about Russia's first special military operation that's completely failed.
You've written it, haven't you?
Right? But so you can understand their motives for doing what they've done and why Ukraine is in this position. But what's the motives for people being at the January 6th? And I use the term insurrection loosely because I don't see any evidence to qualify it as an insurrection, but that's just my opinion. Okay?
I agree.
But I can't see any motive for those people to be there. So I'm just wondering if this guy's either lost it or he's been deliberately obtuse.
Honestly, I don't know, but once again, this has obviously appeared on the Twitters, and half the people who call themselves truthers, God, I hate that term, on Twitter are full of shit, shall we say.
I was on a list.
Oh, were you?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
I was on a list called Conspiracy Camps Truthers. Now, in fact, this is a bit of a public service announcement, people. Just make sure you're not on a list. Because these people like NAFO trolls and things like that use lists all the time.
Yeah, they do. They use lists so that they can pick out their targets and attack their targets.
So it's never worth... If people put you on lists, I would recommend you just block them. Just block the list, and that takes you straight off it, and the people can't see you anymore either. So...
Harold asks what NAFO is.
Fucking hell.
Go ahead, John.
I'm surprised. I tell you what, we'll get Adam to send you a proper briefing on that one.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. But so if you want to check if you're on a list, you go to Twitter and you go down to the right and you look for, if you're on a PC, it's under more, and then there's lists, and you click on lists, and that'll show you lists that you have, right? But up at the top of the hamburger menu, the 3 dots.
I'm on no lists.
Click that, and that will then show you if you are on any lists.
Uh-huh.
And it's worth checking that periodically, because I was on 2 lists. A NAFO troll put me on one early on, and I blocked him and it disappeared. And then I've got put on that other list today, which I'm no longer on, because I checked.
No, you know what? I really don't like the term truther. I don't, because there is no universal truth. There isn't.
Yeah.
And when you start falling down, I guess, that rabbit hole, You become just
the QAnon rabbit hole, the dumbs,
trust plan, trust.
Everybody's
plan.
getting arrested and all, and
How
none of that's ever happened. None of that has ever happened.
No, it hasn't.
Unless you believe they can make clones and put them out there in place of all the people.
I know a lot of people do believe that. I personally don't.
That's a stretch even for me, and I've got a pretty open mind, but
I like to think I've got a very open mind, right? But
it's a big stretch.
But obviously, QAnon was a massive LARP. It was a massive LARP.
I never bought into QAnon, right?
No.
And I've always questioned it and wondered why people... I suppose it's back to the saviour concept, isn't it? It's back to you're looking for someone to come and save you. And it's never happening. There are no Avengers. You've got to go out there and do it for yourself, people.
I mean, I'll tell you what. The best you can expect of me is we could weld a load of stuff onto my scooter and we could make like a little battle tank, and I could lead the charge, but that would be about it.
Yeah, okay. Whatever
4 mile,
you say.
4 mile an hour.
So where are we?
I don't. You're the one with the talking points.
Well,
you tell me.
What about the Dutch? The Dutch farmers.
The Dutch Farmers Party.
The Dutch Farmers Party was started in 2019.
Right.
Yeah. So they've been going for a wee while, and they were going. I mean, the Dutch farmers thing has always been about this restrictions on farming practices and restrictions on fertilizers and things like that, and then the land grab, because the Dutch government, Holland actually produces quite a lot of bacon.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite a tricky product to produce because you need a lot of feed for your pigs.
You know, so you see the Danish shine on a lot of bacon.
Yeah, they do a lot of farming, and
yeah, they do.
And it's
Danish bacon is.
I'm getting quite hungry at the thought of it.
I'm not, because I had a massive dinner,
but it's like, so the Dutch farmers have been going at this for a while, and then they started the protests. And we saw them protesting. What's up with you? What's wrong?
I'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell you in a minute. I'm just there's a trend that's appeared on Twitter in front of me, and I've just.
So anyway, the Dutch farmers started this party, and you got to give it. See, this is the part that we don't do. We never do this. We never protest in numbers for any length of time, right?
No, we go out on like a day. We go on a nice walk for the day, and then we fuck off home.
Yeah, it's not even a protest. It's a jolly. You all meet up in London, and you have a few drinks, and I sing
loads of music, a dance.
Yeah, maybe a fight at the end of the night with the cops, but it's basically a jolly, and then you don't do anything for at least a week, maybe longer,
a month,
yeah. Like, I mean, if it's such an urgent problem, you're doing it once a month.
It should be every day.
Once a month, really? Was it
an urgent problem? Every day.
If you could only do
every day, 24/7.
If you could only do it once a month, it wasn't really a problem, was it? Because it really didn't affect you that much if you only had to protest about it once a month. Really, right? I mean, if it was a big problem, you'd be out there every day. And it wouldn't matter if you were missing work or not, because you'd have to be there, because the problem would be so big that you'd have to deal with it. And that's what the farmers have done in Holland. And that's kind of what the French do. Once they, remember when they did the fuel thing? Baby. Once they get... I lost my light. My light went.
There's a spirit there with you, John.
I ran out of battery. It's not bad. It's fine. It's just
But no, when the French did the fuel, they did all the speed cameras. I was there.
Yeah,
I was there in France.
Bonfires in the motorway.
In the middle of the road. Yeah. I got back to Calais. They built shanty shacks in the middle of the road near Calais. They were having fires.
So
I'm getting around them.
So the French, the Dutch farmers, they carried on with their protest and they've kept doing it. And you know, we did a lot of reporting on it, and like regular media, we kind of lost
Made us
interest in
TikTok
it.
famous.
Yeah, we got TikTok famous, and we got kind of bored with it and moved on to other things because other things were happening. But they keep going. They just keep going and they keep plugging away.
They do.
And then the elections come along, and because they've kept going, and because it's still up there in people's heads and minds, and they've won the hearts and minds of the population, they then get elected in big numbers. And they're either going to be the biggest party or the second biggest party in Parliament.
Yes, they are.
And
right,
I've got to take my hat off to them, mate.
I'll tell you why I looked so shocked just a minute ago.
Fair play.
Hashtag bring back Boris was trending.
That's because of that. It's because I put that video up the other day.
Oh, you're responsible for hashtag bring back Boris trending, are you?
Oh, I don't know. Remember, I
think we need to talk about Oxfam.
Fuck's sake.
We do need to talk about
what do you want
what
to say
they've
about
done.
Oxfam? It's a thief.
You know what they've done?
It doesn't matter what they've done. It's a charity, which is in effect a thieving organisation that gives people with money more money than they really ought to have and doesn't spend it on the people that need the money. That's a charity in a nutshell.
Right, so they've released a new 92-page inclusivity guide, right?
Yeah.
And in this guide, they call English the language of a colonizing nation and tells their staff to avoid the words mother, headquarters, and even youth.
Have
because
you
these
seen
are language...
Oxfam stuff?
I've been in a few Oxfam shops.
And what's the average age of an Oxfam elderly woman employee?
She's usually on day release.
Yeah, from the care home down the road.
Yeah.
So you know what? People, if you want to give to charities, that is your prerogative. It's up to you, right? But what charity's done any fucking good? What charity has brought anything down? Right? I mean, it used to be a 1 in 50 chance of getting cancer in the 1950s. It's now 1 in 2. So they made it. They made it better. You know,
it made so much better.
Yeah. Heart charities. You know, more and more people are dying of heart disease. Great job. Made it better.
It's all our food.
What the fuck? Charities don't do anything. They don't provide any. They don't provide any benefit, right? And all they do is line the pockets of big pharma.
Yeah, and then speaking of charities, we are directly competing right now with Comic Relief on BBC One. Right? I didn't even know it was happening. It's Red Nose Day, apparently. St. Patrick's Day and Red Nose Day. So, as it's St. Patrick's Day, the nose is green.
And please, how the fuck, right? How the fuck does the BBC have the gall to raise money for children? Just think about it. Just think about it, right? And that's all I'm going to say on it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, fucking... I still on this inclusivity thing, right?
Yeah.
How is it inclusive to exclude things?
It's not.
How is it inclusive to exclude things?
It's not.
How is it inclusive to basically demonize things?
It's not. But you now know my views on charity. I like everything. They're well balanced and taking even keel down the middle.
Well, how much of your money that you donate actually goes to that charity? I mean, remember, these charities have got to pay for TV advertising. They've got to pay for their directors and trustees. They've got to pay rents on the shops that they have and things like that. You know, and all of this money comes first out of your donation before it gets to where it's going to go. So all of their marketing costs, all of this, your money is going there first. Because without your money going there first, the marketing, the shops, they don't happen. So how much of your money that you give to a charity is ever actually going where they say it is? I quite like my local Scope charity shop, to be honest. And the reason is everything in it is always £1. It's convenient, but I don't give that. I don't do that to give to charity. I do that to get things for £1 because I'm poor. I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't have as much money
what I
as
was thinking, but I'm not going to read it out. Anyway,
Prince Andrew's threatening to release a book, isn't he?
get the fuck.
Now he's falling out with the king. He's threatening to release a tell-all book.
About what?
I don't know.
How to pick up girls. How to pick up
American girls.
How to pick up girls and stay suspiciously dry.
My pal Jeffrey. Oh, you shouldn't laugh.
The royal family's just fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose this is what happens when you inbreed, you know. But for fuck's sake, it's like...
John.
Ben.
Did you miss me for the Friday night show last week?
Yeah, I suppose. A little bit.
Yeah.
And
did you miss me? Just whilst I was having what you'll all see was a bad time. But did you miss me?
Yeah, you shouldn't have bothered going. It sounds like shit. Anyway.
Oh no, I should have bothered going because, you know, free holiday.
Right, what we were talking about. Stop fucking trying to fish for compliments.
For the love of sweat. I like that one.
That's a good title. Yeah.
Beach Crates, why Pizza Express is better than Pizza Hut. They still take cash.
Really fucking care. But strange that pizza franchises do really well in recessions, because people still they still see pizzas as a treat, and it's the last thing they give up.
It's takeaways in general. Takeaways do very well
in recessions, believe it or not.
Yeah, and in lockdown they did very well.
Yeah, okay, but that wasn't a recession at that point, but it is
now. No, it caused a recession.
It's not really a recession, is it? It's a depression.
Well, yeah, but you can't, you know, because our economy allegedly grew, so it can't be in recession.
How much did our economy grow by?
I think it was about 0.3%.
Well, how did it grow then? Because inflation's running at 10.1%.
Well, I'll tell you how it grew. I'll tell you exactly how it grew.
No,
they fiddled the numbers to make it look like it was growing.
No. Technically, I'm no economist, right? Okay.
Right.
But I do have kind of half a degree in economics, okay?
Yeah.
But if inflation's at 10.1% and our economy grew by 0.3%, is that growth?
It depends if they have factored for inflation when
That's
talking
a good
about
point. But then again,
the
that brings us into lies, damned lies, and statistics, doesn't it?
Well, exactly. And like I said, the reason that it looks like our economy has grown is because they have just been fiddling. That'll be what's happened here, and I'm willing to be sued. I know that's what's happened.
Who's going to sue you?
Well,
first of all, you need to be speaking a lie.
Exactly.
And secondly,
and that's why.
Who can prove that you're wrong?
Well, I am not wrong.
Exactly. So nobody's going to sue you.
I am not wrong.
If you want to sue
our economy,
come ahead.
Our economy is going to grow so much that the housing market is about to crash to death. That's how well our economy is doing, guys.
I have said on a number of occasions, this is not the time to be buying a house.
No, that'll be in 6 months. That's when you want to be buying a house.
Maybe, yeah, 6 to 9 months. Yeah.
Harold in the chat. It'll be fine.
Yeah, of course it will. You just stick in there, mate. It'll be great.
It'll be great. Everything will be dandy. It'll. Oh, look, it's 22:22. I just seen that on the clock.
Right, I once bought a house for 33 grand and sold it. I think it was 3 months later for 94. That was a housing boom.
I couldn't even fathom those numbers because I've never had anything close to that ever.
Yeah, but those days were in the past, and in the past they must remain.
In the past, you had money.
Yeah, yeah. I had a lot.
He used to talk when we first started doing this show. Many of you will have actually been watching from the beginning. I know that Shalini, Adam, Vaughan, a bunch of you have been watching since the beginning. And he used to say every week on the show, "When I have money,
I used to have money, and I had a lot. I mean, I'm not boasting, but I had a lot of money. But get fuck all money now. Anyway,
you've still got more than me.
Well, yeah, that's only because I have a small stipend from my former employment. Remember?
Yes.
In fact, I got a letter from them today, and that's how I know the rate of inflation, because that's how much my stipend has gone up by. Because it's index linked.
You bastard.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it any better, because all it does is keep it in line with inflation. So it's not as if I'm getting any more money. I'm just treading water.
Adam says, "Are you being called back to work by Rishi yet, John? The police might come calling, John."
Sorry? No, I'm too old. I'm too old to be called back.
I don't think so. And do you want to know why I don't think so? Have you seen some of the people running around in police uniforms these days?
No, I haven't really seen a lot of cops.
Down here, there's some relatively old ones, and there are some that look like they're still children.
Yeah, it's the ones that look like still children that worry me.
Yeah, they worry me because you look at them and you go, you were clearly in school uniform 5 days ago. Yeah. And the police uniform just looks massive on them.
Rishi made a comment.
And you just laugh.
Rishi made a comment today about, one of his 5 promises was for the police to crack down on, violence against women. And I thought, that's a bit fucking rich, given the past record in the recent weeks about cops getting arrested for violence against women. So I did say maybe you want to start with the police.
Yeah, but still,
stop them committing actual violence against women.
At the same time, I'm going to drop a few truth bombs here. People might not like it, but the biggest victims of violence are in fact men. First of all, the biggest perpetrators of violence are indeed men. The biggest victims of violence on the street at night, men, right? Now, I don't like these violence against women and separating women. Why don't we just tackle violence, right?
Yeah, you could. And
why don't we just tackle violence at the individual level? Because when you make these broad sweeping assertions, like many people do, and they say, "Oh, men are the problem," and yeah, granted, let's look at the statistics, and statistically, it would say that men commit violence and violent crime overwhelmingly more than women do, but they are also overwhelmingly more the victims of violent crime and violence than women. But that doesn't matter, because what matters is the individual committing the act of violence at the time that the act of violence is committed. So what we need to do is tackle each and every case at an individual level, and it doesn't matter who the violence is against, men or women, right? We need to tackle violence.
Yeah, well, maybe we just need to be a better society.
I agree. Maybe we do need to be a better society. I mean, let's face it, I'm not going to be getting violent very. I'd take a swing, my shoulder would just pop out of its socket, and my arm would be useless and limp out of my side. So let's take me out of the equation. I'm not a violent person. I've never been a violent person. I've defended myself in fights, obviously, when I was in my youth, and I was a little bit of a rapscallion, but I'm not inherently violent. I don't think you are, John. I've known you long enough to know.
I have no violent tendencies at all.
I mean, but the point I'm making is there are factors that you can look at. You can look at upbringing. You can look at whether or not they're in the care system. You can look at all of these things, whether or not they're from a broken home, whether they've got strong male and female role models in their lives. And you can look at people on an individual level, and you can determine whether or not they're more and more likely to commit acts of violence. But Julie says, the longer we argue who gets it worse, the longer it takes to find resolution. You're absolutely right. Now, I just talked statistically. I'm telling you the facts. Those are the facts. But we need to stop talking about this whole violence against women, because it doesn't help.
Well, it's just divisive, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to tackle violence. And yes, I agree. Men are overwhelmingly the perpetrators of violence.
Yeah.
There are many reasons for that.
Yeah,
there are many reasons for that.
And as you've pointed out, most of the violence that men perpetrate is against other men.
Yes. Yes, it is. And Harold says it's easier to just blame all men, which a lot of people do. By the way, but it's not easier, because the only person responsible for an act of violence is the person committing that act of violence at the time they commit that act of violence. I'm not responsible for, let's say, PC Wayne Couzens and the things that he did. I'm not responsible for the violent police officer who attacked me.
Well, you know,
I'm not responsible.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
And this isn't probably going to be a popular opinion, but I think it's got a lot to do with the breakdown of the nuclear family. I thought it's got a lot to do with the fact. I don't just think that. I'm pretty certain of that. Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that we could no longer support a family with one wage, and we had to send both parents out to work, and we ended up with latchkey kids that became improperly parented. And you think about it, if both your parents are working 5 days a week and only got a weekend off, they don't really want to spend every weekend watching the kids all the time, you know. So, and I think kids get less and less input from their parents as you know, life has gone on, as we have moved through the decades. And
I'll go one further.
The problem then is they don't have any role models. And when people are going through their teens and growing up and going through puberty and that, they need good, solid role models to form their opinions and for them to become, you know, to realize the potential of what they should and must become.
Absolutely. But I'll go one further. I'll go one further. I don't even believe it's to do with both parents being forced into work. I believe it's to do with the fact that so many relationships and marriages fail these days. And they fail. I mean, I think it's something, and people can fact check me on this and tell me if I'm wrong. But I believe if you get married in your early 20s, a good 80+% of those marriages fail within the first 12 months. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. The people get married because they want the big flashy day. Yeah. And they want the pomp and ceremony, but they don't understand what marriage is. Yeah. Right? And people have lost the idea and the sense of responsibility. And that's because we've made life so comfortable here in the 21st century. And because people are like you say, they are helicopter parented. They get what they want when they want. And unfortunately, it's had a massive, massive effect to the detriment of society, I believe. Now, I'm not saying that is 100% the case or factually. I'm just giving you my opinion. But I believe that, I mean, let's face it. I've just celebrated my 10th wedding anniversary. Is my marriage easy? No. Is your marriage easy, John? Probably not. Right? Is anybody's marriage easy? But I think if you make that commitment, and I made that commitment in my early 20s, but I was damn sure, right? Mm-hmm. I think if you make that commitment and you make a commitment to start a family, you've both got to be damn sure. And then you've got to be prepared to actually face problems that you have between you, or face external problems together. And you've got to be able to work through issues. And people don't want to do that anymore. They just don't. They just go on and find the next model, so to speak. And it's the detriment to the children. Going back exactly to earlier on, when a little kid in a buggy that I'd never seen before in my life called me daddy.
Yeah, but that does happen. But anyway, Vaughn's just posted something in the chat that I find abhorrent and very disturbing. Right? Okay. Have you read it?
Yeah.
So that is unacceptable. Now the other thing that gets me is that's not the society that Britain should be in this day and age, because that's not the society we used to be. Because if Shalini was accosted by people on the train home and nobody said or did anything, right?
She's a small woman by herself.
Yeah. Nobody said or did anything until the 4 teenage black girls that were doing it got off the train. What does that say about society?
Society's fucked, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Society's,
because, you know what? I mean, everybody's frightened to fucking call it out. And there's somebody getting picked on by 4 people, right? And nobody will stand up and defend them. That's disgusting.
It is disgusting. I mean, I called a bunch of kids a bunch of arseholes yesterday. I was going to the cinema to see Scream 6. And our cinemas are in a new build area of our shopping centre. You have to go to the upper floor and then up another escalator. But on the new upper floor, there's a big old Nando's with glass windows, right? And these teenage arseholes started running up to Nando's, banging on the windows and giving everybody inside the middle fingers while they're trying to eat their lunches. And instead of filming it or anything like that, I went, "Oh, you little fucking arseholes." And they didn't like that.
No.
But if nobody's even doing that, and I'm a disabled man on my own on a walking stick, by the way,
I'm surprised they didn't fucking turn on you.
Well, what could they have done? Beat me up?
They could have thrown you off your scooter and stole it.
But I was only on my stick.
Oh, right, okay.
Which was handy. But the point is, the point of the matter is, Spencer says it says that people are frightened to step in and be branded as a racist.
I think people are just frightened to step in these days.
Yeah, they are. But I don't have that. I don't have that brain cell in my body, and it could it could be to my detriment. Probably get me stabbed one day or something.
Yeah,
but
I know. I've been there as well.
Yeah.
The only thing the one occasion that I am very loath to enter into is when there is domestic dispute between a man and a woman who obviously
don't know
what
each other. Situation is.
And I have seen this time and time and time again, right? Someone steps into a domestic dispute between a man and a woman who know each other, and they turn on the guy that steps in, and he gets a fucking doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens, and also, you just don't know the situation. You don't know who's responsible for that domestic dispute. You don't know what the issue is.
But the thing is, you cannot win when you step in, because the problem is they're a couple.
Yeah.
If they're fighting out an issue, they think that's fine, right?
Yeah.
As an outsider looking at it, you think, holy shit, he's going to hit her or something like that. I'll step in. And it's you that gets the doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only time I would say tread cautiously.
Yeah, Vaughan says she said they may have been 15 years old, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age they are, and that's even worse because you know what? They probably were 15 years old, and they were probably taking advantage of the fact that they were 15 years old because they know that basically they can get away with fucking everything. Little bastards.
Of course, and it was the same with the kids yesterday, right? I couldn't have stepped in physically because they were obviously kids.
Yeah.
And schools are on strike, or they were the Wednesday and Thursday, so they had the day off. And they were just out there being little arseholes trying to accost people.
Well, you know what? I know you say you can't step in, but you know what you can do? You're still entitled to defend yourself if you get to the point where you're in fear of your life. Regardless of what age they are.
Oh, believe me, if they'd hit me, my walking stick would have been an asset, shall we say?
Yeah, yeah. Right. But anyway, shall we move on? Shall we move on to more, or not interesting, but more different things?
Go on in.
Pornhub.
And I know for a fact that a vast majority of the people in our chat probably frequent the site.
Right, so who...
I'm joking, by the way, I'm joking.
Who bought Pornhub?
Am I? Who did buy Pornhub? You tell me.
So Pornhub was bought by the Canadian... Hold on. Where is it? Yes, Pornhub has been acquired by a Canadian private equity firm called... Are you ready?
We are. We're waiting for it.
Ethical Capital Partners. Ethical Capital Partners. I mean, I had a look at the board and they're a bit dodgy. They are a bit dodgy.
Oh, yeah, some of them look like...
Somebody's called Rocco.
Yeah, I told you about Rocco, didn't I? I said this was Rocco's idea, looking at Rocco.
I think you may be right. I think Rocco's
this was definitely Rocco's idea.
But yeah, so and then there's the guy who's a retired chief superintendent of Canadian Ontario Police or something. All right, so he's on the board, and then there was the token woman who has Skelly, right? She's boss-eyed, right? And then there's some other creepy people, and obviously the obligatory lawyer. But yeah, it was quite. I just find that quite funny. Even just the fact that their company is called Capital Ethical Partners.
I'll tell you what they're going to do to make Pornhub ethical. They're going to start charging for it. That's what they're going to do, isn't it?
Probably, I don't know.
God. Do you remember when, in order to see porn, you had to go into some like backroom private cinema in the back of a shop?
No, I don't remember that. I've never done it.
But you know of it. You know of the situation. I've never done it. I'm not old enough to have done that, right?
I've seen it in movies where they put like a coin in the slot and the window opens.
those were real. Those were real.
And Soho right? Somewhere.
Yeah. They should make a Pornhub TV license. They tried that. Hold
on. Adam's giving the game away here.
Oh.
He said they do charge for it. For the good stuff. Oh,
how much, dear. Adam? How much are you paying?
How much are you paying, Adam? And
how much are you paying?
Does it come through on your credit card as a plain brown wrapper?
No, but in what Vaughn's saying, they tried to do something a few years back where you would have to buy basically a license at like a pay point. You'd have to go to PayPoint to get this license in order to be able to access these sites, and you'd have to keep purchasing it.
That's like
so people in the shop wouldn't know what you were buying.
Yeah, but that's like people in authority have no fucking conception of a thing called a VPN.
No.
No,
you're right.
Or the new thing is Cloudflare tunnels.
But you do realise that
that's one about Cloudflare tunnels.
But our governments are trying their best to ban VPNs. They've been trying it for a long time.
Yeah, so is China, but you can't.
So Adam says VPN?
See, the problem is, how can you ban a VPN, right? You can make it illegal to. It's like a radar detector, right? You can make it illegal to use it, right? But you've got to catch someone using it before you can fucking do them. And if you've got a VPN, how the fuck are they going to catch you when your IP address is in a different fucking country?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Vaughn, you've let the game away as well. Look at this in the chat here.
Midget bomb.
Yeah, but look what Adams responded. Oh, Vaughn, I didn't realise it was called premium.
Oh, dear, oh dear, these boys are really getting themselves into problems now.
Oh, they are giving the game away tonight.
Oh, tremendous. 14.99 a month. That's ridiculous amount of money for pornography.
Beats Crate says he remembers going on one of them sites on dial-up and it charged him on his mum's phone bill.
Oh, ouch. Do you remember? You remember when you used to download just any picture, right? I'm not saying pornographic, but do you guys ever remember when you used to download a picture and it used to come in line by line?
Yep.
And you'd be going, I wonder what this picture
Do you remember when you wanted to get on the internet because you never used to be constantly connected? And you have to hit the dial-up and badum, badum.
Doing. Spencer, 24 bob was fast, mate. That was fast. My first connection was an acoustic coupler.
He's saying words that make no have no meaning to me.
Do you ever seen the film War Games?
No.
Watch it. It's a fucking scream. It's actually a good movie. Matthew Broderick's in it.
Yes, I did go to the cinema again today, John.
Yeah, I know.
I went to see Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Don't tell me
the
about
sequel.
that. What Spencer says, War Games was excellent.
There we go. Yeah. Well, I've not seen it. I will.
Right.
I
Anyway,
will put it on the list.
Getting on. I'm going to need either more beer and a visit to the toilet, or at the end of the
There's
program.
16 minutes till the end of the show.
I don't know if I can hang on.
So what are you saying? You think it might be time to wrap up?
No. Well, it depends. We haven't touched on Ukraine at all, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about.
And I'm glad we haven't touched on Ukraine at all.
Oh no,
it's nice to not talk about it for once.
Do you not want to talk about it? You want to have a special about Ukraine at some point then?
Well, I'm just saying.
Right, we've got to talk about Macron.
Go on then, because he's on the thumbnail.
Right, so what did he do last night?
What did he do last night?
He invoked Article 49.3, which allows him to pass a law without putting it to vote.
Yes.
And that law was to make people work longer before they got their pension. Now, I think it's still substantially less than we have to work in the UK before we get our pension. Right?
Uh-huh.
But what did it do to France? It fucking erupted.
It did. It did. I've seen some video.
Yeah.
And you know what? It will continue. It will continue.
This is a biggie, because this is something that affects too many people. And the thing is, the French are very, very family orientated, right? So if Papa and Grandpa are upset, then the whole family's upset, and they'll all act in unison. And French are fucked. Macron's fucked. He is fucked. I don't think
he's been absolutely.
I'm surprised he got re-elected, but he's fucked.
I am as well. I am, but then again, I just don't think they were ready to elect Le Pen. I think it was as simple as that.
Yeah,
I just don't think they were ready. Yeah, what an asshole. I will say that. What an asshole.
So
he's turned into a dictator.
The thing is, see, when he did it in the Parliament, right? So he has to invoke Article 49.3.
Yeah.
Parliament went fucking nuts, right?
And rightfully so.
They then drowned his speech out by singing La Marseillaise or whatever it is, the French national anthem. So they were singing the French national anthem, which is all about fucking liberty, fraternity, and egalite, right? And they're fucking, and he's fucking running through dictatorship, basically, out of order.
Yeah, he needs to go.
He does.
But then again, at the same time, I'll say it again, as I say with this country, the problem is not the politician, the problem is the system. Yeah. The problem is the system that allows him to do that.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, that should never be in place. That's not something...
I don't know if in this country, until people decouple themselves from the first past the post two-party system. No, voting won't change the outcome of anything.
And we've long said you can't change the system from the inside. That's the problem.
You can't. You can't.
See, this is the problem. You cannot change the system from the inside. So the only way...
Let's face it. I was going to say, in the UK, people are resigned to the fact that it's either going to be Labour or the Tories, and neither of them want the system to change.
There's a guy down Portsmouth way called not Portsmouth. Sorry, is he in Wales? Cromwell. Tom Jones.
He's not in Wales, no.
Oh no, he's in Portsmouth. Something like that.
He is down our way, I think.
Yeah, he's down your way. He's on the south coast, I'm pretty sure. Tom Jones. And he's got the right idea. He's talking, pitchfork and torches.
I told you, I went to B&Q and got myself a new pitchfork the other week.
Yeah, well, that's basically what he's saying, and you won't change the system without that. But you can't call for it. No, you won't.
You can't call for it because you end up in prison.
Mm-hmm.
But let's face it, once again, in this country, we are wedded to, and we are resigned, I'd say we, the society, is resigned to the fact that these two parties will
Well, see, this is the problem, because we look at this, we look at it as dispassionate observers, really. Because I'll be honest,
I don't vote anymore.
I don't. There's nobody to vote for, right? Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody out there can represent me.
My vote does not matter, because I'll vote for some
it doesn't matter.
Person.
It's the fact that there is no one out there that can represent me. So there's no one to vote for, because no one's going to represent my viewpoint, right? Other than me. So how can I possibly vote for someone? So if I vote for someone, I'm betraying the one person that I shouldn't, which is myself. So the system is fatally flawed. But the problem is no one sees this. That's the big problem. No one sees that the system's fatally flawed. And they go on about, well, I'm a Labour man, or I'm a Tory and all that. And you know what?
They're all the same at the moment.
You're not. You're neither. You are a slave. If you vote for these people, you are voting for the continuance of your own slavery, because you're just part of a system. And a cog, tiny cog in a big machine.
And that is essentially it. When you vote for these people, when you put these people in power, all you are doing is empowering the system that continues to keep these people in power. Continues to keep these people enacting these things like the ULEZ, for example. There's apparently going to be a big old ULEZ protest, I think tomorrow in Trafalgar Square, right?
Well, you know what? Don't protest it. Don't bother. What is the point?
You own it, boys and girls.
Yeah.
What's so take it into your own hands. It's your property.
Do what you've seen people doing. Go and buy an angle grinder. Go and buy a pair of wire clippers.
In France,
take the action.
90% of speed cameras were removed.
Yeah. Take the action in your own hands.
Be the change you
buy
want
a paintball
to see
gun.
In the world.
Buy a paintball gun. Oh,
but just remember,
I had a camera by mistake.
Just remember, we're not calling for these things. We're just,
I'm just saying. These are the kind of things that have been done in the past.
But this is your property. They used your money to buy it. They're using your money to implement it, and they're essentially using your money to create devices that will then charge you more of your money.
If you put it this way, they're using your money, right, to build the walls that will contain you in your cell and make you an even better slave.
So Harold says, can you guys diss Navarra Media? Easily. It's got Ash Sarkar in it. Awful. There you go.
Yeah.
And also, I saw someone mention Sneeko earlier, and I don't think you probably know who he is, John, but what a cuck.
Who?
He's a guy who thinks he's all that, he's a YouTuber. I'm all that. And him and a big YouTuber called Moist Critical have been having an argument, and then it ended up one of them threatening the other with a gun, and I don't know, it's all gone a bit mental.
It's got a bit Pete Tong.
It's gone a bit big, but it turns out the dude sat on a podcast and he was like, "Yeah, I let other dudes sleep with my girl," and I'm like, "Huh?
Oh.
Yeah." Oof. Whilst he was in the room as well. Oof. And then he suggested that everybody try it.
Oh, fuck it.
This is the problem with society today. No family values. Nothing. By design, of course.
It's 1930s Germany, right? It's decadence. It's the breakdown of society. This is what happened in 1930s Germany in Berlin. You know, it fell into this hedonistic society. And what came out of it? What came out of that? You know what came out of that. And this is why when you actually sit, and I've read it because it was fucking 14 pages long, and I read it so you didn't need to, right? But when you read Putin's fucking 14-page long speech, he's not like 1930s Germany. He's not. Now, and I'm not saying he's a good guy, because he's probably a thug.
Almost definitely.
And he's a very, very dangerous thug, because you know what he is? He's really fucking smart. That makes him really dangerous, right?
Yeah. Well, he's an ex-KGB operative.
Oh, yeah,
of course
he is.
He's smart.
But you know what? A lot of what he says isn't wrong. That's the problem. But a lot of what our leaders are saying is wrong, and quite demonstrably wrong as well. I mean, look at these fucking three.
They're
cucks.
all assholes.
Yeah, but look at these three cucks: Biden, Sunut, and what's his name? Albinus, or whatever his name is. This guy in Australia. Right, look at those three idiots. About submarines. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to give Australia like 4 submarines. Fucking whoopee do. What's that going to do? In real terms. Who gives a shit? And it's like...
And
it's
China
like
have already turned around and gone, "You're making a big mistake."
Oh, of course they are. Oh, but... Right, so that... I mean, this is one of the points I had on my thing. And the talking point I've written down is the US, United States of America, doesn't have a defense department. Now, they call it the Department of Defense, right?
But it's really the Department of Offense.
Yeah, because what border are they defending right now?
Well, nothing. Nothing of their own, anyway.
No, they aren't. They aren't defending a border. And they've never had to defend a border. They've never had to defend a border, right?
Not yet.
So their military is an offensive military. And it's out there in the world projecting...
Delivering freedom!
Yeah, projecting US power and applying US economic sanctions on people, right?
So I have one more question for you, completely off topic, before we go tonight.
What?
Is Lord Miles dead?
Who?
Do you remember Lord Miles Rutledge, the guy that decided to go on a holiday in Afghanistan? And
no, I don't.
Well, he's gone back on holiday to Afghanistan again, and he's gone missing.
You've thrown me off. But...
Good, because I want to leave them on that. He might be dead, says Vorm. Because I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, let's wind this up. Let's get out of there. Let's get. I'm going to go in the house after this, and you're welcome to join me for an hour of winding down over on the game system. But it is time, John.
It's time. It's been an interesting evening. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too.
I always enjoy it. This is the more, as I said earlier on in my little video.
I was getting quite into things there. I could have kept going.
Yeah, I know, but it's time, John.
And there are things that need to be said. But
we have Monday at 2 p.m. No.
Yeah.
No.
Next
week, the shows are at 8 p.m.
Yeah, we're going to try evening shows next week and see how that goes.
Yep. So Monday at 8 p.m, Wednesday at 8 p.m, Friday at 9 p.m, and If you haven't already, head over to the Rumble channel, please. Link is now in the chat. And subscribe over there just in case. If you can and would like to support us further, you can do so with donations at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent or on Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. One-off donations there as well, paypal.me/Chasing Dis. John, get us the hell out of here!
And with that, I'd like to thank you for attending this Friday night, all in, live with John and Ben from undisclosed locations in this fair isle known as the Great
UK.
Britain. It's been great for you.
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation. Too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.